Right, we're in Hamilton Spawn. That's County Down or Armagh, or
Shaman, yes, County Armagh.
I'm only winding you. We're in Hamilton Spawn, County Armagh. We're at NC Engineering HQ. Just wanted to catch up and get a little bit of information about the business, NC itself, where it started, where it's going, where it's come from, where it's going to, and a wee bit more about the whole thing. So I'm going to hand over to Rodney and he's just going to start talking.
Basically, the company was founded in 1975 by three people: Norman Nicol, his brother Alexander Nicol, and their cousin Wilfred Carson. Hence the ANC from the Nicol and Carson. So it started basically with the three of them in 1975. It started as purely as an agricultural engineering business. There was a need for some way of mixing slurry at that stage, so they designed a slurry pump, which was a new innovative way of mixing and pumping slurry at that stage. I joined the company in 1982, so I've been here 36 years. We moved from slurry pumps to slurry tankers, then things like push-off buck rakes, slot lifters, which became a thing of the past, obviously. We then branched into trailers, and eventually we arrived at where we are today with a workforce of approximately 170 people operate from this 10-acre site. So from humble beginnings, it's grew to a company that exports worldwide. Yeah. Probably 50% of our turnover is exported outside of the UK and Ireland. So export has become a major part of what we do here.
And that's something that I know, even to the point when we were at Agritech show last year, and that was 2017, we met up with Adrian, and he was explaining a little bit about his role and what he did, and like he's looking after Canada, and he was just telling us there he's stuff going now to Chile, and then you were telling me about the amount of low loaders you were making. Like, where did the most of the commercial trailers you make go to?
The vast majority of them went to Scandinavia, whether that be Norway, Sweden, Finland. That's where, I suppose that's where the commercial trailer side started from, that we were doing a lot of business in Scandinavia, and our main importer in Norway had approached us to see would we be interested in making a commercial trailer as such. So we looked at it, we made it, they liked what they seen, and the order started coming, and that's basically where the commercial side came from. Then people started noticing the trailers, certainly at home here. They started to notice we started to do one or two at home. It's not a side of the business that we ever advertised much. It was more word of mouth and recommendation, because we were so busy in other lines that obviously commercial trailers take up a lot of space. So we were happy with what we were doing. So a lot of what we do now is all bespoke, one-off, same as your own trailer.
Yep.
And it's still very much one-off, bespoke, tailor-made to suit every individual customer.
That's what appealed to us straight away, was the fact that very difficult. You can't get one trailer to suit every single job.
There's nothing generic.
But we were trying to cover as many bases as we could, and that's where it was really good, because we were able to sit down the table and really go through everything that we needed. And for the job that we were looking for, of running around with a harvester this year on, it was pretty neat. I'm sure you'll agree with that there. So
it's important to establish what the customer wants, what they really want, what they'd like, and ultimately when we build a trailer, it starts with the customer and what they want. So every trailer is maybe not completely different, but they're certainly unique. There's a few going to Scandinavia that would be repeat orders for certain customers, but in general, we certainly configure the order and often totally bespoke, and I'd say yours is totally bespoke.
It is. Coming to our trailer in specific, we had a requirement. We wanted a trailer that would do a bit of nearly everything, that could extend, that had wheel wells, it needed to be manoeuvrable, and we wanted, for putting on heavy machines, that the capability of flip toe ramps,
Yep.
right to clip-on ramps. I mean, this was what we said the wish list was. So,
Yes.
if you can talk through some of those bits and pieces and how you put the trailer together, then
I don't think it was anything that we hadn't done before individually, but maybe not in the combination that the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
I know certainly we'd done trailers with very low bed heights, we'd done trailers with combine wells, we'd done trailers with extensions, we'd done trailers with clip-off ramps, we'd done trailers with hydraulic folding ramps, we'd done all of that. I just maybe hadn't done it all
in the one trailer.
in the one trailer. Yeah, yeah.
Well, our trailer then, not only did we want outriggers, we were thinking about the wider machines, so we went double outrigger.
Yes.
Whenever our trailer's fully extended out, she's right the whole way to 10 foot 10, but then we can have her with a single outrigger, which is making it a bit more normal. So like even that was a challenge.
Yep. Oh, getting the strength in without putting too much weight is always a challenge, and all this stuff. And everybody wants everything galvanised now, and whilst it's a great process for corrosion, it adds a lot of weight. And
well, what's the first process in putting together this trailer of ours? What was the first thing would have happened once the drawings were approved?
once the drawings were approved, obviously the first thing is get your long lead time items, such as your axles, because they're a special order. And sometimes if you go to like a BPW or SAF, if they haven't done that particular combination of suspension and axles for us, it's a new part number for them, even though they might make it for a competitor trailer. So that's the first thing. And from there on in, then it's the main beam would be main fabrication of the main beam would cut in steel, and there's probably 400 or 500 hours. I'm not sure. It might even be more on that trailer of man hours on that trailer. So it's a long process.
When people visit the factory or they call in, one of the first things they usually always say, I didn't realise this company was the size it is.
100%.
And I don't know where that perception comes from, but we are arguably one of the biggest manufacturers, certainly in Northern Ireland. I mean, we cover a 10-acre site with 170 employees. So everybody's always surprised because they always think, they still associate us with the slurry pumps and slurry tankers. They come, they see the commercial trailers, they see the site dumpers, they see lagoon pumps, they see various different machines, and they sort of think, wow. They see the range, even in our workshops, they'll see laser machines, they'll see robots. I think it's one of the main perceptions that we didn't realise this company was the size it is.
Absolutely, and that's what we get out and about within, because we're not going to these places around the world. What we're getting is, I didn't realise they made trailers like that.
Yeah.
And then we start to check out the trailer, and you're like, that's a great trailer. We've yet to receive, throughout this whole year, a single criticism of the trailer, and normally people will be like, oh, you should have done this, should have done that,
Yes.
should have done the other.
A lot of feedback we have got from people seeing your trailer. They've specifically came to us. I've seen the trailer you've made for GRASSMEN, so it's having your trailer on display at, whether it be the Highland Show, Balmoral Show, wherever, it's certainly, it's opened doors for us.
So when you're making an extender trailer, how does that work? Because it's not normal trailer now, it's just one piece from front to back.
A standard trailer, let's say 45 feet long, well, an extender fully out 60 foot long. See, everyone has to be getting, you have to get everything square and straight. The difficult bit is getting that first 35 feet spot on. After that, it's not such a big problem.
And do you make it in like two halves, or how does that?
The front half and the back half will be made individually. Then prior to paint and blasting, they will be joined up, make sure everything's square and working as it should do, because with something, tolerance stack ups on something of that size, you might only be a mil here, a mil there. You get it over 35, 40 feet.
So the trailer comes together, you're happy, you separate it again, and now we enter the paint process.
Now it enters the blast process first, and then the paint.
And what's all involved in your paint process here in this factory?
Our paint process We use a Swedish company called Becker's, and it's a single pack polyurethane primer with a 2-pack epoxy top coat. But it's a high phosphates primer to give you that corrosion protection, and it works very well on blasted media, very well on blasted media. Other processes in the factory use an iron phosphate wash rather than blasting, because light parts. It's fair to say our blast machine is designed for 3mm plus. If you've ended with 2mm parts, you're going to have problems.
I understand. Well, that's true. And then, obviously, we requested that the trailer be the specific colour that this trailer is painted.
Yes.
We provided the code. We wanted to go with the Scania grey to suit our lorry.
Yeah.
And again, that was no issue for you. You were able to do that.
No, we can get, within about 3 weeks, we can get virtually any colour, provided it matches to a RAL. As long as it's got a RAL code, we can do any colour in the RAL charts.
So we had your new type 16-ton trailer. I don't know, you've changed the design of your silage trailer a wee bit lately to try and, I don't know what the reason behind it is, but I'm going to say, for me, to make it a bit more stylish, but I'm not saying that's the official reason.
Yeah, it's not the official reason, but obviously we brought out that new trailer maybe about 4 years ago. A couple of reasons. One, we wanted to, I suppose as you rightly say, we wanted to modernise the trailer, because a lot of the new generation are very much focused on how something looks as opposed to how it performs. So, but we wanted to bring out a trailer that was lighter than a lot of the competition, which we have achieved. And the reason we done that with a hard ox body, which meant we were able to keep the strength up but the weight down. Trailer has been exceptionally well received. We have sold a lot of trailers, and yeah, the trailer looks smart. I mean, our previous trailers were absolutely fine, and some of them have been going this past 25, 30 years and are still looking well, but a lot of the young
They had the old bar in them, Rodney, when you were side filling. Oh man. The old bar in them when you were side filling, then you hit the wee bar that went scooting across.
Well, you don't have that problem now, and obviously the whole thing has evolved from that. But
well, the trailer we had, just give us the rundown and the stats of the trailer we had.
The trailer you had was a 16-ton trailer, if I recall right. It had full commercial running gear as regards your commercial undercarriage, your commercial axles. It had dual braking systems with load sensing, hydraulic back door, full hard ox floor, higher tensile sides in the trailer as well, full LED road light. And it was a well-spec'd trailer, but a pretty common spec trailer by all intent and purposes nowadays. So the trailer you had was something that is nearly our bread and butter trailer now.
And coming from looking at some of the trailers that you had sent out there that we seen in the factory going through, came our idea of having all the shackles on the bed of the trailer to avoid chains and that, because ultimately it's important for us. We don't want to be chipping and damaging paint all the time. We like the image. Image is important. So there's no shackling points in that trailer that's not up on the bed of the trailer, and that was another challenge within the design, because we didn't just ask for a few.
Well,
we believe you can never have enough tie-in points.
There's a different market there between the machinery mover and the heavy haulage. You know, all he's doing is moving 50-ton, 30-ton excavators. You know, he doesn't need loads. But the guy who's moving agricultural machinery, you know, it's probably not the same rate in it as moving a massive machine. So he tries to get 3, 4, 5 items on if he can, but he wants plenty of tie points.
Without the export market, where would the company be today? We wouldn't have the employee, you know.
We wouldn't need the employees that we currently have, because it's export accounts for approximately 50% of our total turnover.
50%.
Yep. Obviously Adrian is on board and he's dedicated purely to export, so obviously that has helped. But yeah, it's a side that we need to export, or it's a side that we need to grow more, because the UK and Ireland market is oversubscribed with a lot of engineering, obviously. So you have to look at further field.
So if you're looking at 50-50, if that's a rough indication of where we're at today, roughly 50-50, where would you like to see that going to? 60-40, 70-30? You know, when you talk about growth, or maybe he's having a plan, I don't know.
Obviously every year you want to increase your turnover, you want to increase your customer base. That goes without saying. As regards percentages, we don't really mind as long as the company's still growing and the company's still healthy. That's key. But I say we want to increase our turnover year on year, and obviously we see the export side hopefully increasing. We'll never lose sight of the fact of where we've came from, and obviously the UK and Ireland market is core to everything that we do.
Absolutely.
But there again, the export is a side that you want to grow and explore. And you have to. If you stand still in this game, you might as well go backwards.
But is it nice to be here in your office downstairs, and you are seeing a lot of potential, I'll call them foreign investors or whatever, coming in, that you know, and is that a nice thing to see? There's this local company, and there's people over from Canada, or there's people from...
It makes you feel proud.
Yeah.
From having started here 36 years ago, from what was humble beginnings,
I was one.
You were one.
When
now
you started here,
you're making me feel old, Gary.
I was one. Just like to point that out.
Thanks for that. But anyway, so yes, it makes me feel proud. I mean, we had site jumpers, went to Singapore, and you know, when you see all these, whether it be Papua New Guinea, all these obscure countries, and you think, this is in a small village of Hamilton Spawn that started with 3 men who had a vision, and now we can consider ourselves worldwide. So yes, every time you sell something to another country, it's I think it's fantastic, and I think it's a wonderful achievement for all involved within the company, and that goes right down to the people in the shop.